And then the Prophet ﷺ said, what did he say? Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He said, alaykum bi sunnati, the third advice. He said, upon you is to follow my sunnah. Alaykum bi sunnati, follow my sunnah. Wa sunnati al-khulafa al-rashidin al-mahdiyin. And the sunnah of my rightly guided khulafa. Pay attention. Is that two sunnahs or one sunnah the Prophet mentioned? How many sunnahs did he just mention? He said, alaykum bi sunnati, upon you is my sunnah and the sunnah of my rightly guided caliphs. How many sunnahs did the Prophet mention here? Who could tell me? How many sunnahs did he mention? Pardon?
Too much.
Two sunnahs?
No, too much sunnah.
Say that again?
Too much sunnah.
Too much sunnah.
Yeah.
Allah Akbar. It's never too much. But how many sunnah have you mentioned here? The Prophet's sunnah and the sunnah of his rightly guided khulafa. His rightly guided khulafa. But this is one sunnah Ibn Rajab al-Hanbali rahimahullah ta'ala explained. That the Salaf al-Salih used to see that the sunnah of the Prophet and the sunnah of his companions to be the exact same sunnah. Why? Because Allah in the Quran, when He spoke about the path of the Prophet, He spoke about the path of the companions, He connected them and made them one path. Because they're on the same path. That's why Allah said in Surah Al-Baqarah, فَإِنْ آمَنُوا بِمِثْلِ مَا آمَنْتُمْ بِهِ فَقَدْ اهْتَدَوْا. Allah said they will be guided if they believe what you believe, Muhammad, and those who are with you believe. Allah didn't say, فَإِنْ آمَنُوا بِمِثْلِ مَا آمَنْتَ فَإِنْ آمَنُوا بِمِثْلِ مَا آمَنْتُمْ بِهِ فَقَدْ اهْتَدَوْا. So, the Prophet, if they follow you, and they believe the way you believe, and their iman is like yours, and those who are with you, i.e. the Sahabah radiallahu anhum, then they will be guided. If you say, no, I only follow the Prophet and I don't follow the companions, you are misguided. If you go out of your way to say, I do not follow the companions, or you do not take the companions' guidance in particular issues, you are misguided. You are not guided, because you will only be guided if you follow the Prophet and those who are with him. Allah said that. Does that make sense? And there are many ayat in the Quran like that. Because time is short, I can't go into it. But the point is that the path of the Prophet ﷺ and the path of the companions is one path. In fact, the hadith itself shows you it's one path. Because when the Prophet said, "Alaykum bi sunnati wa sunnati al-khulafa ar-rashidin al-mahdiyyin," upon you is my path and the path of my rightly guided khulafa, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali. The Prophet said, "Addu alayha bin nawajid." Pay attention. The Prophet said, hold on to it with your molar teeth. It is one thing. He didn't say hold on to them. If the Prophet referred to if there were two separate paths, the Prophet said addu alayhima. He would have said addu alayhima, hold on to them with your molar teeth. Like he said addu alayha, he used the singular, hold on to it with your molar teeth, to show you the path of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam and the path of his companions radiyallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een is a path which is one path. Addu alayha. Pay attention. The hadith mentioned khulafa al-rashidin al-mahdiyin, rightly guided khulafa. This is only four: Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali. What about the rest of the companions? There's another hadith in which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us all the companions and him are on the same path. The Prophet says, "Sataftariqu ummati ala 73 firqa." My ummah will divide into 73 sects. Kullaha fin nar. All of them are going to be in the hellfire, illa wahida, except for one. And when he was asked, what is this one safe sect? What is it? Ma hiya ya Rasulullah? Which is the one that will make it to Jannah, that we save from the hellfire? The Prophet ﷺ said, Man kana ala mithli ma ana alay wa ashabi. It is the one who is upon what I'm upon and my companions. He mentioned all of them there. So you bring the two ahadiths together, you find the path of the Prophet, and not just Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali. All of the companions is the path of the Prophet ﷺ. Does that make sense? And the Prophet said, Addu alayha bin nawajid. The Prophet said, hold on to it with your molar teeth. Why did he say molar? Every word, I want you to see, wallahi, the power of the Prophet's statement. Nothing was said frivolously or superfluously. Everything was said with reason. He said, hold on to the Prophet's sunnah and his companion sunnah with your molar teeth. Why? Because the molar teeth are the ones that you grip something with. If you bite some bread and you hold it into your two front teeth, or you take a cloth and you bite onto it with your front teeth, I'll pull the cloth, I might even pull your tooth out with it. Does that make sense? Like if you grab a cloth and you put it on your molar teeth, these ones in the back here, you can tug and pull all you want. It's not coming out. Because that grip is hard. The Prophet is saying, grip, hold on to it, don't let go of it. And just so you know how important it is to hold on. The Prophet ﷺ said in another narration, which you are, I'm sure, are all very well aware of. The Prophet ﷺ said, a time will come where holding on to this deen, and the Prophet's sunnah is his deen. The Prophet's sunnah is the deen. Holding on to this deen will be like holding on to hot coal. But you've got to hold on to it, and you've got to not only hold on to it, you've got to hold on to it with your molar teeth. You've got to take that coal, you've got to bite it in your molar teeth, you've got to hold it and not let go. Because what? The majority of people are in what? Opposition to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam sunnah. I forgot to mention something. Before the Prophet mentioned, hold on to my sunnah, he said, إِنَّهُ مَنْ يَعِشْ مِنْكُمْ فَسَيَرَى اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. The Prophet said, if you live after me, if you live, you're going to see a lot of disputes. So the Prophet telling you hold on to the sunnah is in the context of disputes. The people say, oh, the Muslims are divided and everyone believes something different and there's so many different sects and groups. The Prophet said, if you live, you're going to see a lot of this. He said, in that context, when you see it, is that a problem? Is disunity amongst the Muslims a problem? So the Prophet straight away, when he mentioned the problem, he told you the solution. He said, hold on to my sunnah, the sunnah of my companions. Now every act of worship, everything you want to do, ask yourself, number one, this should be your checklist. Did the Prophet do it? Did his companions do it? The companions were the Salaf as-Salih. The companions were the Salaf as-Salih. They were the Salaf. When we say Salaf, that's who we mean. And the students, the companions, and their students. Because there's another hadith that mentions all three generations. The point here is that you want to follow the Prophet and the Salaf. Does that make sense? And that's how you know what you're doing is upon guidance. A person says, I want to celebrate the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam's birthday. We say, Akhi, did Abu Bakr celebrate it? Did Umar celebrate it? Did Uthman celebrate it? Did Ali celebrate it? Did Aisha celebrate it? Did Salama celebrate it? Ibn Abbas celebrate it? Tell me one from the companions celebrated it. And if you don't have even one, then this is something, if you persist and insist on doing it, knowing that the companions did not do it, and this is something that what? This is an opposition to the sunnah. And it can take you out of Ahlul Sunnah, potentially, and put you into one of the sects that will go into the hellfire. People want to protest. They think protesting will help and aid the Muslims. Did the Prophet ever protest? Did the concept of protesting exist in the time of the companions? It did, because the Khawarij came and protested outside Uthman's house, and then they killed him after that protest. So the companions knew what protesting was, it existed. Did they do it? No. So is it from the Prophet and his companions' sunnah to protest? Rather, how did they deal with oppression? How did they deal with tyranny? Study the sunnah and the seerah, and you'll see. And you'll have the answers, but they never protested. So you have to ask yourself, what was the tariqah? What was the way of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ? That's the sunnah. Does that make sense?
Finally, Taha, we're going to be able to produce videos so fast on this new powerful Mac, inshallah ta'ala.
Bro, get off the Mac.
Oh, my bad, bro.
You're bad for real.
Yeah, I didn't see you there, man.
What do you mean you didn't see me? I'm right here.
No, obviously, how am I supposed to see you, bro? At the time we're recording this video, you've not been edited in yet.
Say wallahi.
Yeah, you've been edited.
No way.
Yeah, post-production, my G.
That's mad.
Whole time, K Visuals, obviously, as you can see.
MashaAllah.
More money came in, we were able to hire a better visual team. That's why we can do stuff like this. But anyway, bro, listen, I need to talk to the people, okay?
Bro, do your thing.
Donated
I'm just going to sit here and
for this
listen,
Mac in
inshallah.
the first place. So now, brothers and sisters, as you guys saw, literally about just over 24 hours ago, we put out a video saying we needed to raise money for new media equipment so we could spread La ilaha illallah across the World Wide Web. And alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, you guys, almost with Allah's permission, have managed to reach the target, which means we're going to be closing that fundraiser very shortly because we're just a few thousand away from our ultimate goal. Now here's the thing, do you know what that means for you? That means you miss out on an opportunity to get mad reward, because as I showed you in the last video, from that one camera we managed to reach 20 million people. That means there's a potential of 20 million rewards just of YouTube. Imagine all the multiple different cameras, the different computers and the thing that we purchase from these donations, and then all the data that we spread across the internet, the kind of reward you'll get. You see, now when that fundraiser closes, your opportunity is gone, and I'd advise you, please don't miss out on that. Like there was a companion at the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet told the Sahabah that there's going to be 70,000 from this ummah that are going to go to Jannah without any accountability, which means no questioning. Day of judgment, straight to paradise. So one of the companions' name was Ukasha. He stood up and he said, Ya Rasulullah, he said, make dua to Allah that I'm from those 70,000. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to him, Anta minhum. He said, you're from them. It's done. It's done. Another companion heard it. He was like, oh, you just have to do that? Just ask the Prophet. So he got up and he said, Ya Rasulullah. He said, make dua to Allah to make me from them as well. And the Prophet said to him, Sabaqaka biha Ukasha. He said, Ukasha beat you to it. That was a limited offer. You missed the window of opportunity. So what that shows you is that don't let someone beat you to the punch. Don't let someone beat you with the opportunity to get that kind of reward. I mean, think about it, man. We've got sins. But I have an opportunity to buy a piece of equipment, which there's going to be multiple rewards that are going to come from it. Rewards in the hundreds and thousands, rewards in the millions potentially, inshallah ta'ala. That's not the kind of good deed that you want to pass up. So anyway, inshallah ta'ala, with that said, I'm going to leave you guys before this guy gets upset.
Open the box.
Yeah, bro, we're going to unbox you soon as the
Quickly,
video
man.
stops, man. Just be patient, bro. Hasteness from shaitan. Anyway,
patient,
listen,
bro.
before little me gets upset, I have to bounce. But the link is below if you don't want to donate, inshallah ta'ala, so we can spread this da'wah. Listen, inshallah, we're going to spread this da'wah everywhere, inshallah ta'ala. Everywhere that Allah allows us to do. Of course, we can't do it each and every single little place before we get a little refutation. Oh my God, he said everywhere. Jokers. Assalamu alaikum.